Thank you, everybody. I'm Tom Griffin, and this is Concert Tales.
This time, it's the Rolling Stones in Philadelphia, 1981.
The Rolling Stones, yeah. I've heard of them.
Oh, Perry, this is the big one, man. Oh, my God. 18 years old, been desperate to see the Stones. And
wow.
They're playing. We got tickets.
Is this in that big football stadium in
JFK
Philadelphia?
Stadium,
JFK?
big, gigantic honking place, seats about 90,000 people on benches.
Wow.
Yeah, big horseshoe facing south.
And?
So, Perry, there had to be like 30 or 40 people from our town going down there in separate clumps. Yes. So, I'm 18.
Pretty much all together, right? And like, in a caravan, or rather a
it was rough
convoy.
Yeah, it was rough groups. They're all going to drive down. I can't wait that long. So I go down the night before with a couple of my buddies. I drive down there.
Yep.
And, it's just mayhem outside the stadium. This is 1981, and, good things are happening. And we just, took advantage of it. So we raged all night. We're going to see the Stones the next day.
Yeah.
And we just, So we do what we do in 1981. So the next day, somehow, the stadium, they opened. It wasn't like these days. They opened the stadium early. It was probably like late morning. And the Stones, I think the concert started at like 2 p.m. So it was going to be, let's see, George Thorogood, Journey, and then the Stones.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they opened the stadium early, and my friends, I was sitting with about 8 other people who came down separately, otherwise. The next morning, they found me sprawled out on the bench where the seats were, fast asleep. Oh, my God. It was, panic was.
Now, where were you in this giant football stadium? Where were you sitting as far as,
Good question. Now, anybody who's ever been to JFK, it's, it was historic. I saw a bunch of concerts. I saw the Live Aid there. Everything was great. It was a shithole. It was benches. And the bathroom's always backed up. It was too crowded. It was it was mayhem, Perry. It was rough. And there was no seats. It was benches.
Now, do you remember anything from the show?
Yeah, I do. Because by the time the Stones actually came on, it was a while. I'd sobered up considerably or come to life. But what I do remember vividly is George Thorogood Slade. He crushed. Everybody loved him. That's why I was there.
Yep.
Journey came on, and they were at the height of their prime too. They got booed. They got booed. Nobody liked them.
Yeah, a corporate rock band.
They kind of cut their set short, which left more time for the Stones to make us wait around, because you know how notorious the Stones are. But to us, me particularly, it was a spiritual thing. I had wanted to see the Stones.
Of course,
I'm going to see the Stones. So they could have come out and played kazoos. I would have been over the moon. Now, in reality, they came out, and later on, I read, worst show of the tour, without a doubt. Their first show. Yeah, they used to tour every 3 years or so, and so the first couple, they'd be getting the kinks out. It's not like it was kind of rough. They even said the very next day, they played 2 shows in Philadelphia back to back, then they went to Buffalo. They said the very next day was 100% better. But shit, I ain't waiting for the second day. I'm not going to lie to you, Perry. First of all, our tickets are 1,000 miles away. We were, we were on the back end of the bowl, so it was pretty far away.
So they were they were a few inches tall, right?
Pretty much. It was pretty loud, though. Thank God it was loud. It was really, really loud, which is
you
cool.
can count on that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And the first song was Under
my thumb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that tour. They started every show with that song, which is it's a cool way to ease into it. But it was the Stones. It was magical. It was a better time for them being the Stones rather than the music.
I think like George Thorogood, to me, like I can see him opening up for the Stones, but Journey, like what were they doing in there?
It was
like why? Whose idea was that? Because that was a bad idea. They would have gotten booed like Sammy Hagar at the Kiss thing, right?
Exactly.
Had it gone on longer.
Really, who signed off on this? Well, you have to understand the big controversy with that tour was this first time that corporate sellout. Remember, the Stones took money from Jovan. and they put it on the ticket, and apparently they got money for it, and it was the first time that it was
really?
Yeah, it was like a sponsored tour, and they took grief for that.
They were one of the first ones, though, really, to do that kind of stuff, right?
They had bills to pay,
Yeah.
No, but in all reality, the logistics of putting on a tour like the Stones all over the country in those days, and no small gigs that tour. It was all stadiums. That's why they did it in like September. So they're playing outdoors, football stadiums, giant baseball stadiums, shit like that.
Well, I got to tell you, you can say, I saw the Rolling Stones.
Absolutely.
I can't say that. Many people can't say that, but you saw them. So that's a great concert tale, Tom.
Thanks, man.
This has been Concert Tales with Tom Griffin. Till next time, see you in the front row.